Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know every time you see us on the screen, it's about to go down, folks. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and my main man in the passenger seat, Mr. Dusty, to go down like this. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. We do this every Tuesday most of the time. Today we right on time, folks. It's about to go down. We got a special guest coming in shortly. Stick around, stick around, stick around. Yo, Dusty, what's up with you, Doc?
Lonzo, how these holidays treat you, man?
Man, I rested up. I went out and played with the Indians on Saturday and on Wednesday for Thanksgiving. They must have been still mad from the goddamn they must have still been mad. They took my ass off. Nice little chunk. They usually don't get me, but they got me this time. I didn't play none of my normal systems. I didn't do none of my normal stuff. I played in the middle. I used to play on third base. I usually play I like going head up, at least me and one other person. Full table don't never do me no good. And I played a full table. It was holiday, it was kind of crowded. So that's what I get for going against my own rules.
Pockets came back a little shorter, huh?
A little lighter. So I ain't mad, but it is what it is. I get over it. If I couldn't afford to lose,
yeah, man.
Okay. That's if I can't afford to lose, I only take what I can afford. If I can't afford the part, I ain't gonna take it with me. But in the meantime, I'm confirmed for Sacramento on
That's a good point right there, player.
8th and 9th of Sacramento. I'll be live in Sacramento doing the live screening of my documentary as well as a book signing. It should be a pretty good event for those who are up there in Sacramento. Come on, check out your boy. I think one of my folks already said he already locked in already. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Looking forward to it. I like Sacramento.
Nice, man. My son was just up there for a work event. He said he had a great time.
Sacramento's cool. I met a bartender that was a super Record Crew fan, man. Anytime you come to Sacramento, I got you. I'll be looking for your ass when I get down there on the 8th. Be looking for you.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, we got a great show tonight. We have a legend joining us tonight, a San Francisco legend. And I don't use that word often because I think people just throw that word out there. But this man is a legend when it comes to hip hop. He was at the beginning of the Bay Area scene, hip hop. He was doing his thing, finding his way through the jungle and trying to figure out this thing that's called hip hop. I'm talking about Rbl Posse's Black Sea. He'll be joining us in a little bit. But until then, me and Londo are going to chop it up a little bit, man. Shout out to the chat. Hit that like button before you guys get comfortable and enjoy the ride because it's going to be a great show tonight. But Alonzo, so Kendrick's doing it, man. He has the #1 album in the country. I think the first 5 of all the top 5 songs are his on the charts. Wow. I listened to the album probably 22 times. It is such a great project. What do you think about Kendrick having the #1 album, him being from Compton, and kind of another off the branch of Alonzo Williams, if I believe so?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, when you had to go to Dre, you had to come. Dre came to me. He's related. He's another generation of Compton greats, folks. Another generation of Compton greats. Hey, man, our guest just stepped in, dude. You ready?
Yeah, man. The legendary Black Sea, like I said, Rbl Posse, Ruthless by Law. Let's do it, man. You guys may remember, don't give me no Bam or weed. We don't smoke that in the SFC. Shout out to Black Sea. Welcome to the show, brother.
Man, love. Appreciate y'all having me.
I'm glad you made it today. Look here, man. Let's get this party started right away. Doug tells me that you were one of the OGs in the independent game up in the Bay Area. Tell me about your experiences.
As far as what first getting in it,
you grinded in them streets, making your music from the first metronome to the last record.
Man, I kind of got in it. Really, I kind of got in it kind of like on a fluke. It was my boy Budweiser was a rapper. I was fresh out of Log Cabin Ranch, this boys' juvenile facility. I just did a year up there, and when I got out, he was doing. He was like battling against. He got his name Budweiser from battling against this dude from some other projects who called himself the Miller.
Okay.
And, he just was like, man, hey, you know, I'm gonna be the opposite of the Miller. I'm gonna be the Budweiser, and he ended up asking me to get some equipment. I was a youngster, had a little money, doing my thing, and I ended up buying equipment for him and this dude named N.W.A, Double Barrel, who he said he knew all the equipment to buy and how to run the equipment. So I was just an investor, and I ended up buying the equipment, going to a couple pawn shops, Guitar Center, getting a few things, and he didn't know how to work it. So that's kind of end up, you know, he was tinkering around with it for about maybe 3-4 days, and I'm like, bro, you have me buy all this stuff. You don't know what you're doing. And he was like, well, this DJ dude I used to deal with, this is how he showed me how to work it. I don't know. He didn't know how to do the MIDI or anything. So I got out, started asking questions. I learned about the MIDI, ins and outputs, you know, about the RCAs, how to connect everything. And from there, I just kind of got bit with the bug. I started tinkering with the equipment myself, playing around with the beats. I had an SB12, a couple of cheap like Casios keyboards. I'm ended up buying a 4-track, a Yamaha 4-track,
okay.
and I started just making beats, and they was loving it in my neighborhood. They were just like, bro, you got it, you know, man, you the beat man, pretty much, you know. Double B pretty much just turned into a rapper. He wasn't messing with the beats no more, and that's kind of was like my introduction into just doing music. And me as a rapper, the same thing happened. I started making a bunch of beats. You know, this went on for about a year because I got into it. This was like 89 when I bought the equipment. I got out of log cabin. I was in a log cabin from 88, 89. I got out, bought the equipment from 89 to maybe around like 91. I was just doing beats. There was sort of like a DJ producer. And we got the game from Too Short. Too Short used to come through our neighborhood selling his $5 cassettes. And we started doing the same thing, and it took off. You know, people was coming up there every day trying to. It was compilations. Right back then, we didn't know we was putting together compilations, but it was a bunch of local neighborhood guys who could rap. Who I get them to make songs in my studio, and we'll just sell maybe like a 10-song cassette and put it out, selling for $5, and it was a good income. It kind of kept me off the block from selling dope. And yeah, I just kind of got bit by the bug, and that led to me making beats for dudes. Budweiser is another guy who was like our neighborhood. We used to call him the neighborhood Ice Cube. His name was T-Lo.
Okay.
He was I wanted to do a group. I wanted to kind of like be sort of like a Dr. Dre to him being Snoop Dogg. I wanted to get behind him, and he just started faking on coming to the studio. He had a bunch of other dudes in the neighborhood who wanted to put him out. So he started kind of chasing the money and got away from me. And that led to me being in the studio with beats. Nobody wanted to come rap on him. Budweiser was always busy. He started hustling. It just kind of got played out to them. And I started writing, and I wrote my first little hit. It was called What About My Niggas? And I kind of talked about everybody in my neighborhood. I kind of took the Too Short approach. I remember he came through. He said, man, you name dudes in the song, they gonna want to play it. So my whole song was about everybody in the neighborhood, you know, just on some braggadocious type shit, just mentioning what they did, and you know, they such and such, he got all the girls, or this dude, he getting money, and it kind of took off. And from there, I ended up making a song called Rolling Through the Turfs of HP, where I did the same approach. I said, let me just, instead of doing just neighborhood, let me use the whole Hunters Point. And I went to each turf, like I'm driving through all the turfs of HP, and I'm naming dudes, and it worked again. And from there, I ended up doing Don't Give Me No Bammer Joint. We don't smoke that shit, Hunters Point. And that took off. That was kind of like my, you know, what you can say, like my platinum, hood platinum song, you know. We later switched it once I met Mr. C.
That was the one.
Yeah, we later switched it to No Bammer Weed and the SFC because we wanted to pull in the whole Frisco instead of just being kind of like segregated, just kind of neutralizing it to just Hunters Point. And yeah, it did good, man. They loved it. Everybody was coming through trying to buy it. And
hey, C, let me ask you about that song.
Mm-hmm.
That song was really heavy down here in LA. And, you know, that song came out months before the Chronic album came out. Chronic album was obviously paying homage to Smoking Bud. Did y'all get any backlash from releasing a song showing love to the Greenleaf? Because I think, like, you guys were the first rap song I could think of, that a rap group that I could think of that had a song exclusively dedicated to weed.
Right.
And this is once again before the Chronic album.
Yeah, we was the first. I think you had like you had MC Pooh, who had fucking with dang, and it didn't really take off. It was kind of like a local hit, and he was pretty much the only one I know. And I think Cypress Hill was out at the time. They was kind of talking about weed here and there, but we just came with the Bammer Weed song that was just exclusively about weed. And yeah, it didn't we didn't get no love at the radio or nowhere, but the DJs loved it. I remember Chewy and all them who worked at Cameo, they all loved it, but they was like, bro, you just got to see if you can radio it. We was trying our best to try to censor it. Even in the video we ended up doing a year later. We did the video in 93, and it was hard. They tried to spell N.W.A, I-N-D-O. They switched it to E-N-D-O, and we like it was just a bunch. It was kind of corny to all the stuff they kind of did to it. But it didn't get no play until later on, you know, maybe kind of like on our going into 94, 95, we started getting love. And that was during our second album, the Ruthless by Law album. They started really more embracing it, the DJs. And it was really the mix show DJs. It wasn't really getting played on the radio, but all the mix shows on the weekend might come on late Friday night, you know, Saturday. They were showing us some love. And yeah, it was just one of those undeniable ones. And from there, you know, you start hearing more songs coming out from the Loonies and everybody, you know.
Did you own the label?
Yeah, I own my own label. I had owned everything. We was kind of brought up on the independent thing, just kind of watching St. Charles and them, E40 and them. Like I said, Too Short and them. Everybody, it was all about being independent. We wasn't even looking for no deal. It was just mainly like where we go press it up at. I found Music Annex. We pressed up 1,000 copies.
My next question.
$5 a piece and reflipped it. You know, that's what we did.
So y'all, Music Annex, that's the pressing plant?
Yeah, pressing plant that was out there, I believe in Hayward or somewhere like Fremont or something like that.
They still around?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Ain't nobody around, man. All the pressing plants I dealt with back in the day, they out of here, dude.
Yeah, Rainbow, all of them gone. Yeah.
We got one pressing plant still here, and that's Erica Records out in Orange County, and they backed up shit a year.
Right, yeah.
Can't do shit. If you ain't talking about some shit futuristic, you can't make a record or some old shit that don't make no difference.
Right.
Like these thing out where you it's a year and you gotta pay up front.
You gotta pay up, real talk.
You gotta pay up front to be in line, okay?
Yeah.
The game has changed tremendously, man. I'm an independent dude. I've been independent from day one. I was one of the OGs out here in the West Coast doing the independent thing, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling my folks earlier, the music business is one thing, but the record business was something totally different.
Right.
Can you help me with that? Help me understand the difference in the record business and the music business? Because for me, the record business, that's what I had the most fun in, selling the records. The music was cool. You had to have good music to sell the records, but it's just that whole game, it was almost like selling dope, man.
That's what it was for me. So it was an easy transition because that's all I was doing. And then, you know, I could leave it on consignment, get a few more dollars, but then I started learning about COD, where I could just take it in there and they're going to cash me out $5 a cassette, you know, because this before CDs even came. Well, I was doing consignment. We did end up doing a deal over there with Intermittent Records. He was just like, you know, I had like I said, pressed up the first 1,000 copies. It was $1,000, probably even a couple dollars over or something. And they end up pressing up 11 because they say that sometimes they are overpress or underpress. You just got to take what they give you. And I end up pressing almost close to about 1,100. And I took them to a few stores, left them on consignment. And once that Bammer Weed kicked off, they sold out. They was calling around trying to figure out how to get in touch with me. And I end up taking that 5,000 that I made from them, and I end up pressing up 5,000 more cassettes. And by then, I didn't even have to go leave them at the store. Intermittent Records, they was a one-stop. called the Music People. So the Music People, we had City Hall out here, the Music People. They had a record label within the company that Jason Blaine ran. So Elliot and them called us out there, and he was just like, man, everybody calling us about this cassette. You know, we want to pretty much take over the distribution and stuff for you. And I was just, at the time, I'm like, oh, this easy to do. I can make more of this music. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, what you want to do? He's like, we want to buy those, give you $5 a cassette on each one, give you 25,000, and give you another 10,000 on the top to give us exclusive distribution and everything. And me wanting to just go back and buy more dope and go hustle, I was just like, hell yeah, let's do it. I didn't even try to read a contract or nothing. All I was trying to do was get that, run back, upgrade my equipment, and try to go hit the block and slang some more rocks. That's all I was trying to do. And because it was easy to do it. The album was so easy to put together. I was just like, oh yeah, more where that come from. Go on and get this over to him. You can have exclusive rights. We're not tripping. So I ended up doing that with him, and we ended up being a record deal, which we didn't know at the time. We ended up signing for $10,000. That's why I tell people, I said, man, yeah, we got a shitty deal. We didn't know. We didn't even look at the contract. We thought it was just an exclusive distribution, which we wanted, and we didn't even read it. Which I give Jason this probably. I mean, I can't blame it on him because he did say, go get a lawyer and go over it. And I was telling Mr. C, I said, bro, I don't want to spend the extra money on a lawyer. We can just skim through it, look at it, and me, him, and one of my other partners, we just kind of read through it and we're just like, yeah, it's cool. Let's go get that money. He ready to cash us out right now. We finna leave with 35,000. I'm trying to get that and get up. So we signed and ended up being 3 albums. Yeah.
You make any money with the deal?
We didn't make no money because later on that first album came to bite us in the ass because we had all them samples that we didn't have cleared. We were just sampling everybody. I was sampling George Clinton, Prince. I mean everything. George Clinton, from Parliament, Funkadelics to Salt and Pepper, Third Base. We had every Beastie Boys. We had every Patrice Rushen. Every song was a sample, and it had 4 or 5 samples in it. Because back then, when I started producing, once I got to, because I was doing original music at first, but when I got to the studio and I seen that TC had an Emax that he could sample more time, I went crazy with that, and I got all the way away from my original and started just sampling, just sampling everything. All the beats that I wanted to sample. I was trying to be more like a producer like Dr. Dre, because that's who I kind of looked up to back then as far as on production. Him and Eric Sermon. I like love the way they just put them. It was just like action packed when it came to the music. How the samples will switch up and stuff coming in. So explosions and gunshots. I just loved it. So I was trying to mimic that. Yeah, and they told me up. They came. He ended up withholding all our royalties. But saying he put them in the trust fund, so we didn't get paid nothing off the first album. And that album sold, and we went in to do the second album because we ended up getting a management, and we ended up getting with a lawyer. We made a few dollars, and I ended up starting to go over the contract, and and I was like, yeah, we signed a shitty contract, but at least let's just go on and try to honor these 3 albums real quick, throw them out, because we do see that he got the advances, 50,000 here, the next album 75,000. It really wasn't nothing, but we were just like, let's just do it to get through the contract. And when we got to the second album, Atlantic came knocking, and we started going through problems with Jason because we were still trying to get the money, the royalties due from the first album. Okay, but he didn't want to pay. We go arguing with him over that, and what I did was I ended up starting on my own label, the Right Way Productions, at that time, right around 93, 94. I started my own label and started putting out the youngsters around there, and I started killing them because Hitman, who I put on my second album, I used my album as a launch pad for him, the second album, and it set him up lovely. He ended up selling
R.I.P. Hitman.
R.I.P. Hitman, yeah, rest in peace. He sold like 200 copies of that Solo Creep, and I did the same concept. Cash on delivery, sold him $10 a CD. That's when CDs had dropped by then, and I was getting $10 a CD cash on delivery from City Hall Records, from Walter and them out there in San Rafael. And I'll press up maybe 5,000, go up there. He cashed me out 50, and I'll go back, press up some more. And I need that other 5, so I start pressing up 10,000 at a time, and he was cashing me out.
That's the part of the game these youngsters never understand. You can walk into,
Man. Oh, man.
go to the pressing plant, take that
Yeah.
same $5,000 worth of product to the
Yeah.
distributor and get 50,000.
You get 50,000. Man.
You can't do that no more.
God, you couldn't beat that. I couldn't believe it. I was just like,
I'm trying to explain to them how the record business changed my life. Okay, I mean, the only thing, the record business was good. My other hustle was always doing nightclubs and parties and stuff. So you get all I do is open the door up. I own the club, so all I do is open the door up, and I ain't got 1 minute. I ain't got no money and nobody in the building. Next minute, I got people in a pile of money. Okay,
right. Exactly.
0 to a stack. You go to 0 to multiple racks in a matter of minutes. I would take CDs. What do you mean my CDs? I knew where to sell them at. I would take CDs for one person, take them to another. The person who I'm getting them from is giving me $1 a CD just to drop them off. Other guys giving me another $1 for bringing them to him.
Bringing them to him, right? You a quick $2.
I'm paying UPS. I make $15,000. Okay.
Yeah.
That's record business. That's only another brother who's been in this game. I talk about the record business all the time, and I'm glad to have you on the show to somebody who understood what I experienced from another level. Because they know like that.
I loved it, man. I got spoiled with it, especially because I had 2 successful albums, and I just couldn't believe how. I mean, I got out the game fast, and once I started releasing with the Hitman I released in '95. That was it for me. I ended up buying my house where I'm in now, and I'm getting buying 2 properties. Man, I mean, it was cloud 9, and all of a sudden we started touring. Then I started, clearing about 5,000 to 7,000 a show. Man, I couldn't even stand in the projects no more. I couldn't even stand around. It just got too good for me. I ended up buying a house, building a studio in my house, and it got crazy from there because I started saying, like, we was going to spend so much money with Enhancer and going to the studio, going to Bayview Studios. I was like, man, let me cut that cost. And I started really studying equipment. So I kind of mimicked everything he had in there, went and bought all the rolling equipment, all the JD990s, JB880s, R8Ms. I went and bought all that stuff. And man bought me a ASR 10 sampler. I mean, I got me an Atari computer, and it was off to the races. I had everything in-house. I was a one-stop shop.
What was you recording on? What was you recording everything too?
Started off half-inch. We was just working on half-inch, and then from there, the ADATs and all that came out. So
okay.
Like a lot of these youngsters now, they don't realize having to do SMPTE, striping the tape, and doing time code and all like. They get straight to it. Yeah. They don't realize. You gotta take an hour, 2 hours just to stripe the tape. And that's going on towards your hourly pay that you got to pay.
You there for an hour at $100 an hour going. You can't record shit because she just strike.
Nothing.
Okay.
They spoiled now, being able to pull a mixes back up exactly like we used to try to mark on a board. Okay, track 1 is the vocals, this the lead, this is that, and we used to try to keep track of where the knobs was, the EQs and everything. Because once you leave, if you don't like that mix, you got to start all over from scratch and bring that mix back up.
You got to find all them damn settings on those different all the different outboard gear.
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
You won't get that sound again. Okay.
Not at all. You had to do a couple of mixes. You had to do a couple of adjustments before you left up out of there. So whichever one's like, okay, I got a master of this one, master 1, master 2. We used to do 3, and just in case. We got them different. Like he's like, man, if you don't feel the bass, I'll do one with the bass a little more EQ'd. And so I was like, yeah, let's go on and do it. So we won't come back in here and I'll be mad. Let's do one with the vocals bumped down a little bit, just in case, because right now the mix sounded good up in here. But I might go get in my car, go get in my Bronco, and it's like, it's too much bass. So we already try to be aware of that and be a step ahead on that, man. But these youngsters don't have no idea, man. They were spoiled right now. I mean,
here's the problem they have most of the time. Even if you got a hit record, when you go to an event, you take a couple of boxes of records with you. You pick up another, I don't know, whatever it is, 50 per box, another 10, 15, $10 times 50, or 10 times 15, because you can sign them. Now they become collector's items.
Exactly.
You can't sign a digital file. You can't sign that digital shit. You lose. you lose all that money right there. Okay, we never left this city without at least 500 records, man. We go on tour. We have, especially on a plane. Shit, we get there to pick
real talk.
The sky cap, and he'll put all the records on the box, and when we come back, the records is gone. I got a pocket full of
man. They don't understand.
They don't understand, baby.
Yeah, it's the reason this is the microwave era, man, because everything is so fast. But that's why it's no one kind of growing up with them. Like the music from the 80s, from 70s, 80s, 90s. I say 90s is pretty much the cutoff point. It's like those are them eras where people got memories with those songs. And like right now, it's the 32-year anniversary for the Lesson to Be Learned. We still getting booked behind Bammerweed, behind the Lesson to Be Learned album, behind the Bluebird from 90 to 94, 92 releases. We still getting booked. That was like soul food, we was putting together meals, working on an analog equipment. It wasn't all digital, and it's just the thickness of the mixes and everything was just different, and this stuff now is totally different. It's so fast. Yeah, you hot right now, but ain't nobody gonna be bumping it 5-10 years from now. You're gonna get lost in the sauce. Nobody gonna remember. These kids some songs stand out, some artists stand out. But a lot of them don't. You got your few, your Larry Junes and your Kendrick Lamars and your J. Cole's who's making a mark right now, who got them cult followings, who know how to do it, who making good music, who caring about the lyricism. But a lot of these younger dudes, man, they just around here hitting the blocks with switches on their stuff, knocking stuff down. And it's just like, bro, ain't nobody gonna remember that, man. You grow out of that. And when you 40 something, you growing up with your fans, they 30, 40, they 40, 50, they don't want to be hearing about you hitting the blocks, seeing the club, singing, yeah, I'm knocking this person down, knocking that person down. Like, bro, you gotta have some type of substance, man. Give me something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I appreciate it. I appreciate you reinforcing what I've been saying for the last 5 years. Most cats had never sat in our seats. They don't know. Most guys I've talked to are artists. Okay.
Right.
As an artist, when you're a label owner and an artist at the same time, you're a different breed. Okay. Right now, I'm doing some projects, and the guy wants to license some stuff. I said, well, man, when you get through, call me, because when you get through license they shit, what I'm gonna charge you. I'm gonna charge you what I charge. I'm not gonna charge you what I normally get, but I'm gonna charge you what they charging you, because you can't expect my shit for free because I own it. That's bullshit.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm not getting it free because that's bullshit. And most artists don't have no ownership to their stuff. If they
Right. They got executive producers and stuff that own. I was my own executive. That's why all my albums, my whole catalog I own, except for the one we signed to Atlantic Records.
You still got masters?
That's the only one. My whole catalog, I got like 30, almost 30 albums in it. There's only one I don't own. That like I said, I signed with Atlantic Records because I wanted to try the major thing. I just wanted to have that experience.
I got one too. Same thing.
I just didn't like it. They tried to get you to the table. Master P was the dude at that time. They tried to like, once you make something like this, and I was like, oh, this really be happening where they try to sit you down, they try to change up. I want you to go with what's working right now. What's current. And I couldn't do it, man. I didn't even finish my deal with them. I had 3 mandatory albums and 2 optional. It was 5 albums, 3 mandatory and 2 optional. I left after the first one, went back independent, went underground, and get an Rbl album and press that thing up. Red Calumet did, Mike Kent. I was like, man, sue me, do whatever y'all gonna do. I'm out to Trump with it. So I ain't
my greatest record business was always independent. I got one album like you. I got one album with Sony, and I got a statement last month from them. I collected $13 in royalties or something. I'm still upside down. 1986.
Right.
I still haven't put the shit yet. Okay. Yeah, y'all got it.
See, a lot of them don't know how that recoupment works. It's like And they so slick with that recruitment, man. That's what I was trying to explain to my boy, man. D-Shot was just talking about all this, man. We the same D-Shot, the E40 brother from the clique. Me and him were just talking about this. And it's a trip how people get signed, like they don't realize like how what happened with PLC, how they was trying to explain it. See, because a lot of people go in with the mind of like it worked like how it worked on the streets. Just say like you get 100,000 from you get 100. Well, just say you got 200,000 from the label, and the label make 400,000. They don't know how the split is. Just even if it's 50-50, you bought 200. If 400 come in, what they do is they split it 50-50, and then they want that 200 back. So now you broke. Versus saying, okay, take your 200, it's 400 made, take your 200 off the top. I leave 200. Now we split that 50-50. So now I made 100,000. The label made 100,000.
Right.
They be like, oh, wait a minute. I say, yeah, that's the sleight of hand. That's how they recruit. If you make 400, they do the split first. Where let's split 50-50. 400 was made. I'll let you borrow 200,000. 400 was made. 50-50, 200. We get 200. But now you got to get that 200 back because you owe me 200,000.
Right.
So they never understood that. And it's like, that's why it's a scam, because especially if you got a small percentage, like you only making 15% or you're getting 12 points or 11 points. You would never recoup that 300,000, 500,000. You want to sell albums forever. And I didn't understand that because I went in there with the drug dealer approach. Like, hold on, man, you gave us 100,000. We made 200,000. Bro. Your 100,000 is made. He's like, nah, that ain't how I go. Split it, and then you got to give me back what you owe me.
The record business is the only business in the world that will hire you to make a product.
Hey fellas, real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Black.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You've been echoing for like the last 4 or 5 minutes, Black C. Would you mind logging out, and then logging back on to see if that fixes it?
All right, let me see.
He echoed on your end? I don't hear no echo.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it.
Okay, do your thing.
Yeah, and the audience says as well.
I see it in the chat room. All right, that's a good conversation, folks. It's rare.
Yeah, no, this is a great interview. I just wanted to hear everything. I knew y'all would vibe off that independent game, Lonzo.
It's the rare to talk to someone who understands the record business like I understand the record business. People think I'm exaggerating, maybe think I'm lying and telling fairy tales. The record business was a poor man's gold mine if you had anything to sell. Let's see what we got now.
Check. We good?
Yeah. He was just showing love.
Okay, good. There you go.
Much better. Oh, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, now you from San Francisco, right?
Yeah, San Francisco. Yes, sir.
I understand y'all had some beefs back in the day with different parts of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I thought the Bay Area didn't have gangs or what. I thought y'all what was the beef over, man?
Well, it's not gang. It's starting to echo again. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's not gangs. We represent turfs, like streets, neighborhoods, like projects, like how they got the jungle down there. Just imagine if it's like 7 jungles, and that's what we represent. We represent neighborhoods. We don't represent colors or gangs. Like I was from a project called Harbor Road, which one street that ran through the projects. We called it Harbor Road, and it's a different project. It's a West Point project. We have Fillmore on the Fillmore side. Not only is it just like we got a community in Hunters Point, that's one community. Then in Hunters Point, you got maybe 6, 9, 10 different neighborhoods. So that's what we kind of represent, streets. We don't really represent colors, gangs. We don't even really call them gangs. We just call them turfs. It's like, I'm from Hunters Point. Within Hunters Point, I'm from Harbor Road.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How did that go on the other side of the bay? On the other side of the bay with Oakland, y'all have
same thing. The whole Bay Area is pretty much worked the same. Oakland was the same way. You might have a Village, you have the Murder Dubs, you have Acorns. It's just different streets. different projects. They might call a projects a certain name, or they might just go off the street that run through. Like 69ville was, you know, I believe was 69th Street, you know, so that's just how it is. Harbor Road is just a street, but the projects was like Westbrook projects or something like that. It was Westbrook Community or something, or Westbrook Homes or something like that. But we called them Harbor Road, you know, because that one street. So we represent the street, you know.
Now, Dusty was showing me had some questions about some of your crew members, man. That got their lives taken.
Yeah. RIPC, RIP Hitman. We already talked about Hitman.
Yeah. Just the gang stuff. You know, just mine with Mr. C and Hitman. It was it happened within my neighborhood. My neighborhood started splitting up because of the music, because of the success. And I was one of the ones who, you know, I used to be out there. I was really like a factor in my neighborhood, you know, before, like I said, when I first got out, I had money. I was a youngster, like 16, 17, sitting on a lot of money, you know, from just pushing crack and all that, you know, just moving keys or whatever around there, dealing with a bunch of OG ballers who was getting money. And I was a youngster getting money until I got caught up in all the little turf wars, you know, we didn't really call them gangs. It was more like turf. They called them turf wars, Frisco turf wars. I was one of the dudes, got shot, lost my eye in the drive-by. It was just a lot of that. And we kind of got influenced. Like we used to just fight. But I think what really boosted the turf wars up was when Colors came out. We kind of got heavily influenced by Colors. And another one was Menace to Society. They had it going crazy in the city, you know, and we went from fighting to shooting, especially when the crack came. We all started being able to buy guns, you know, because we went from selling weed to, you know, now we ain't selling tie stick and Bammer no more. Now we out there.
Wait. You said the magic word, tie stick.
Yeah.
And I was talking about tie stick the other day to a friend of mine. They don't understand, baby. They don't understand. Come on, talk to me.
Wrapped up, man. Come on, man. Real tie stick.
Tie stick. Some of the baddest shit you can put in a zigzag, okay?
Man, come on now. That was our.
Oh, we lost him. Hold on. Where you go? There you go. All right. What you say? Go on, give me that tie stick commercial.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah, that was it. That tie stick was him. That was him back before the Green Chronic came out.
Man, look, I was telling a friend of mine the other day. I was just reminiscing about marijuana in the era that I grew up in. We had Acapulco Gold and we had tie stick.
Yeah.
Tie stick only came around certain times of the year. Tie stick was like the Meg Rib. You didn't see that every day, okay? It only came out for a season. And it was about long as this pen, okay? Maybe about thick as this pen. But they was $20 back then. I don't know how much it was in the Bay Area. Back then when we was paying 4-finger dimes, 2-finger nickels, a tie stick would cost you $20.
Yeah. No, that tie stick cost you. You had to have paper to have that. If not, you smoking on that Colombian gold, man. If you ain't had for that tie stick.
Come on, you throw this shit they smoking right now. You throw a lot of that away to get you a tie stick, okay?
Yep.
One pinhead joint will have everybody eyes tight, laughing their ass off, okay?
Chocolate tie, come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah, that was him back then. So
you said the magic word,
we got into it. We started with that. And then it went to the crack era. And once the crack era hit, man, it was over with. That was around like 87. My neighborhood was 87, 88. And I was going crazy all from that time, 87, 88. And then I ended up going to jail into 88, going into 89. Okay. I was about to go to CYA, had money, paid for a good lawyer. And they couldn't believe the lawyer, Steinberg, who I had, who a lot of the big time drug dealer dudes was going to 850 Brian, going to the county was using. They was like, man, this dude got Steinberg coming up to juvenile. But he got me from going to Preston, you know, Carl Houghton got me going to Log Cabin. And, you know, he beat it for me. And I got caught with a lot of shit, guns, dope. Man, I got caught with hella shit. I should have been gone for a long time, but I paid that lawyer and got over there. And when we got out, our album actually brought the truth. But we was people like JT the Bigger Figure, rapping Forte, all them was from Fillmore. They from the side that we was kind of funking with.
Okay.
And that album, that album that I did brought the troops together. You know, brought us Sunnydale, Fillmore. Once we dropped, and that Bama we got around, my boy Lonnie Green, he was with a strutting group called Demons of the Mind, and he called over there, had a couple of them dudes. He told me first of all, he was just like, Black, bro, you got this Bama weed, bro, that can bring the city together. He like, man, if anybody can do it, you can do it. So yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna reach out to a couple of dudes from a couple of turfs around here, and I did, you know, reach out to a couple of factors, and they supported me. They're like, bro, whatever you want to do. I said, I want to bring Fillmore and Sunnydale over here, and you know, just create a truce, man. And you know, whoever got a problem, you know, they can go one on one. They can shoot them fades right here in the street and get it off their chest. And Lonnie Green made the call over there to a couple of factors over there in Fillmore and everything, and they trusted my word and came through, came to our projects. They came up there about like 30, 40 deep. And yeah, we ended it that day in 92. It's been we've been good ever since. But from there,
before that,
first started breaking down. Once everybody got cool, it started being problems. You know what I mean? And that's really from the success of a lot of the rappers. It started causing problems. You know, the dudes who was on my album cover is the dudes who we was kind of tripping with. It's like two of the dudes on the album cover kind of split off and start doing their own thing. And they just didn't, you know, because people started asking what role, because really what I was doing when I did that album cover is only two of us that rap. It's me and Mr. C. But I had 3 extra dudes on there who was just dudes I grew up with. Mr. C was only up there probably 2 years. He was new up there. He really wasn't from my projects. He was somebody that got brought in from my boy T-Lo. I met him through T-Lo. But the dudes who I'm on the cover with, we was knowing each other since we was like 2 years old. We was all together. So I wanted them on the cover with me. Like, man, you know, I want us to look like N.W.A. in them. Y'all come up there. We gonna, you know, throw on the all black. We gonna do this. You know, I knew how to package it. Like, man, we want that eye candy. 2 dudes ain't gonna look right. We want to, you know, be a posse. You know, because we was trying to be like N.W.A. in the posse and all, you know, and the Ghetto Boys and all them. They first covers when they had, you know, 4, 5, 6 dudes on the cover. So that's kind of where I got that concept from when I did the cover. And yeah, that caused a split because once we start going out doing shows, people start asking, was you the DJ? And he's like, no, you rap. And they start wanting to rap and wanting to be DJs and wanting to be a part of it. And they didn't know nothing about it. So that caused a split. And Mr. C started getting fame, like popularity. His popularity started rising. And he was new up there. He didn't really have to pay no dues. And they got jealous of that because of the female, the popularity, and it just one thing led to another where our turf just split up. It was one side, you know, was like Big Block, and one side was RBL, and then it just started being like little sneak attacks happening here and there. And it was mainly the younger generation, like my younger brother and like his generation. They kind of like really kicked it off into gear to where we really start falling off, because I was gone a lot, you know, during this time when the inner turf stuff started happening. I was gone running around pushing these albums, but when I come back, you could just see it was just jealousy. And yeah, one of the dudes on the other side got shot, almost died, and they came, tried to retaliate, and it was just back and forth until Mr. C ended up getting killed, you know. It led to him getting killed, and later on, you know, Mr. Hitman ended up getting killed just going back over there trying to hang out. You know, he was popular, he was known, he didn't want to just be out in the suburbs, you know, recording and doing stuff with me. I tried to keep him from over there. I'm like, bro, you know, you can't serve yourself on a silver platter to these dudes, bro. I said, just being in the hood, you know, you easy access. You can't be that. You Hitman now. And he was just, bro, you know, dudes need me, and you know, I got me a crew over there, and it's, you know, all right, do your thing. I'm starting to work on my solo career at the time, so he went over there and didn't really last 2 years. You know, got killed. You know, after about a year and a half of going back to the project, you know, got killed. So,
you ever find out who shot you in the eye?
Yeah, I know who shot me. I end up I gotta send y'all my book too, man. I talk about all of it, man. The dude, I seen him later on because I looked him right in the face when he came around the corner. He had this 12 gauge, and it was him with a 12 gauge, and another dude who was shooting with a 9. You know, it was like 3 of them who was shooting, and I looked right in his face when he shot me. You know, so later on, when I moved to these other projects, Army Street projects, this was probably a couple years later, probably like in '94 during our second album, he was over there and he was down and out. And my boy called me like, bro, the dude from Sunnydale, the dude Rodney, man, he up here, bro. He was up there getting high. He was on heroin. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna let him live. I ain't gonna gain a strike for this, and it's just probably gonna be a heavy investigation. I just like, man, I'm gonna let him live. I'm not even gonna trip. And at the time, I had a few dudes over there with me in Army Street. Not only did I have the street respect, but I had the rap respect. With it was a lot of dudes who loved and looked up to me. I could have easily got him knocked down, but I wasn't even on that page. I ended up letting him live, and it's crazy. I believe he ended up dying in the TLs, drugs and all that. So the streets ended up taking it anyway. Karma caught up with him, because he was a beast when he was out there. I ain't gonna lie, he was on a mission. The guy that shot me, he was one of them guys from Sunnydale. But like I said, that life got the best of him. He was on heroin and was a heroin addict. So
that ain't never good.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you. Outside of San Francisco, what were some of your biggest markets?
My biggest market was LA. Even right now to this day, it's Los Angeles. My biggest market. It was Kansas City, Seattle, Portland, and then it kind of going down to Arizona, and then it's like Sacramento, San Jose, Sacramento, San Jose, Sacramento, then San Francisco, and then it get into the a little bit smaller. But my biggest, Detroit. Back when we first dropped, it was Detroit. Detroit was our top market. It was Los Angeles, and then it was Michigan, from Lansing, Pontiac. We stayed out there on our first album. It was our first biggest show, some of our first big shows where we knew our value, when they were just calling and offering us 5,000, offering us 6,000, 7,000 to do shows. We used to be out there with the Dayton family and all them, MC Breed, and then we done did a lot of shows all through there. So yeah, the first album, it was there. Then it started slowly changing as we started getting popular. LA always been our top market, period. Even today, we got a big Latino found.
Yeah, I've seen you twice down here.
They love us.
And you were supposed to be at Commerce Casino, but you canceled it at the last second. Or you were supposed to be in Commerce recently. And I was like, oh, man, me and your wife, we were about to grab some tickets, but it ended up getting canceled at the last second.
Commerce, yeah, there probably was a promoter then that probably did that, because
right before the summertime.
There, yeah, anytime, any show I put,
sure it was.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, the promoter canceled it. Yeah, the promoter canceled that. Yeah, out in Commerce. I think he moved it. He was supposed to put it in. He ended up. I think it was a conflict. A couple of groups that was on there had other shows that he was trying to book, and they got these all type of little stipulations where you can't do within 60 miles.
60 miles, 30 days, shit like that, yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like why I got canceled. It was too close to a couple of other shows that some of the same people that was on there, Sugar Free and a few other people was supposed to be on the show, so he couldn't do it. Yeah.
Now, you just said something, and I was just having this conversation the other day. I was down in LA. I went to the car show Saturday night, and I didn't even know, I don't know how it slipped past me, that Quick and Snoop and some other folks had a concert at the Peacock Theater.
Right. Yeah, we were supposed to be on that one. Mm-hmm.
And I was telling my Unknown was down there hanging out, and like, man, they got a show tonight. And we just noticed that majority of the crowd was not black. And
Latino.
Latino.
They love that old school music, man. They breed their kids on it.
I was telling Unknown, I said, without the Latinos, West Coast hip hop would not be the same, man.
At all. At all. Man, they keep us eating right now.
Huh?
They keep us eating right now. Without them, it's for surely no RBL without them. You can't say nothing bad about any type of Latin hip hop, according to me. We might go to war, about them. Man, the way they go crazy about RBL and love us, man, I feel the same way, man, about that. I embrace that fan base to the heart, man. They buy all my merch. They support me nonstop when I drop my book. Man, I done sold over 1,000 copies, and I look at where it's getting shipped to, and I look at the names, and about 80% of it is mainly Latino. You know what I mean? So, man, I love them to death, man. You know, they love that era. They love old school. I don't care if it's soul music, funk, rap, you know, 90s. You know, they support. They come out. They love a gumbo mix. They could put RBL with Evelyn Champagne King and Confunction and you know, and DJ Quick, and they love it. They gonna come sold out. You know, you know, you can get them a gumbo, and that's what they want.
That's facts, dude.
Yeah,
facts.
I can count the times.
Yeah, you're even releasing music to this day. See,
man.
And one of my favorite joints right now is one of my favorite artists right now is Larry June. It ain't got to be explained. I'm a rebel in this shit. Recognize and realize that it's levels. To this shit. I mean, and you're still you and Larry June are doing a lot of music together, man. Can you talk to us about Larry June's come up, because he took over, man, and just your relationship with him?
I'm so proud of him, man. You don't realize, like, that was his father's dream. His father is from, we grew up together. His father would have been on the first cover with us. He just wasn't around that day when we took the picture. He's a childhood. I've been knowing him since I could walk. Him, his mom and my mama, they all grew up together. They was all going to high school, middle school together in the same projects that we was raised in. They grew up there. They raised us there, and we was real tight. His father name is Larry June. He really is the third, and his father is the junior. And he just took on his father's name, and his whole aura kind of comes from his father. His father was on the healthy stuff. He never did drugs. He was always drinking orange juices and being healthy, going to the gym. He was into real fashion, like really like old school.
Hence all the orange juice references.
Yeah, that's where it all come from. All that healthy stuff comes from his father. To this day, that's one of my best friends to this day. We get on our Harleys, we ride, we hang out. Man, I love him to death. He is a solid individual, and that was always his dream. So he kind of got me, Larry June, and my daughter's about the same age. They all was kind of raised around each other, raised together. His mom from our neighborhood, his whole family. His grandfather, Salim, was the first Hunters Point rapper, period. He came out back in like 87, 86 doing rap. So Larry already had the music kind of in him through his grandfather, Salim, but he ended up getting on my 70s Baby album. I think it was back in 08, 07, 08. I put him on that. And then I got him on, he was called Young June at the time. And he was kind of rapping more like T.I. T.I. was one of his favorite artists. He was kind of rapping like him. And then I got him on B40 album. I forgot the name of the album that it was, but it was the song Money Straight. I had him do the hook. 40 sent it to me. And I was just like, man, I got this youngster, man. And, this is my little nephew. I want to put him on there. And he was like, man, I don't care. Just come with a hook, whatever, man. Whatever you want to do with the song. I just want to get you on it. And I put Larry June on a hook. And 40 loved it. And we shot the video and everything. And what he did was he went off to Atlanta. Not Atlanta, but Miami. He was already kind of back and forth from Atlanta and Frisco. But he went to Miami. Started getting into doing a little bit of his little pimping thing, and he started hanging around OG Mako and all them. And man, he slowed his flow up, and that was the best thing he could have done. When he came back and got in the studio, his daddy didn't really like the style. I liked it. His father liked it more when he was fast-paced rapping, sounding like T.I., but he kind of found himself because he was sounding like T.I. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, he sound like T.I. He sound like T.I. And Larry June is really like he dumbing his stuff down. Like he really lyrically used to be raw. He dope. Like he really can spit. Like on a level of,
oh, that's for sure.
The Kendrick Lamar's and J. Cole's, like he was coming like that. He used to be spitting. He had a song called When the Yields Come. Talking about the little weed. Oh my God, I always wanted that song. And he never really put it. I don't think he ever put it out. He switched up and started getting into that player vibe. Start getting on that healthy, and that was the best thing he could have did, man. And I'm so proud of him right now. Because I was semi-retired, and he came and got me. I just was doing shows. I was like, man, I'm not really doing no more music like that. And he like, Unc, I need you. Nah, I need you. I need you. He got me on the song called Meet Me in Frisco, and I got bit by the bug again.
What's happening?
Yeah, and then we end up doing What's Happening, and then we end up doing Organic.
That should go, man. That should go.
Yeah, man. So We got about 6, 7 of them down, man. And I was just with him at his show in Fresno, and he's just like, come get me. We got to put together about 2 or 3. You know, I need a couple for my album that I'm finna work on. I need to do something for you. And yeah, he let me come out on stage with him like a couple weeks ago in Fresno, man. I'm talking about just packed house, man, just sold out crowd. Like he killing it, man. Like I love it because, you know, like I said, our stuff was cut short with me losing Mr. C. So the trajectory with us is kind of changed. But him getting out, getting us to all them House of Blueses and all these Fox theaters, the Masonic theaters, like, man, like he let me be able to come feel that once again, coming out doing songs, and I love it, man, because he introduced me to a whole new younger fan base who embracing me now to just cause me to get back in the studio. Now I've been dropping music, you know, I've been back at it and have been streaming. I mean, everything I do with him stream tremendously, but anything that album that he's been a part of been doing so good to where it's keeping me motivated to keep going. You know, I love Nephew, love him to death, man. And he got so much love for me and respect and his whole style. And or even if he ain't got us on a song, he used ips of our stuff in his music. You know what I mean? And I love him for it. Love him for it.
It's all good, Doc. It's all good.
Yes, man. Sir.
Love Mr. C, I just want to thank you as someone who grew up loving hip hop, especially in 1992 when Lesson to Be Learned came out. Man, that album came out amongst a bunch of giant albums. 92 is arguably one of the best years in hip hop for any hip hop fan. So I just want to thank you personally for your contribution, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You look great, dog. I know your age, homie, and you look amazing. So keep doing what you're doing. And you know, thank you so much.
Gym,
anything coming up that you wanna tell us about?
Yeah, we got
anything coming up you want to tell us about? And will you be in LA soon? Because I want to come check you out.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be there Thursday. We're gonna be at the Whiskey A Go Go. This Thursday. We're gonna be in Hollywood, West Hollywood.
That's where I saw you a couple years back. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna be there this Thursday, and then we got we're gonna be everything else is pretty much locally out here with San Leandro. We're gonna be on the 7th. Then from there, we're gonna be the 20th. We're gonna be in Sassoon. And then we just pretty much setting up for next year. You know, that's pretty much it. We got like 3-4 more shows for this year. And then it's just getting locked and loaded for next year, man. And yeah, we just working, man. I got a couple albums I'm working on, a couple of joint albums I'm doing with producers. So I'm just trying to stay busy and stay having fun with it, man. Cause it ain't nothing like, you know, when you ain't really counting on it just for like to really pay bills. You know, I got other income sources now that I've been blessed to be able to the music was able to just set me up lovely to where I can do other things. So now it's just me having fun. I'm able to live off that residual income from Bamberweed and all that, just the streaming is just coming through so lovely. You know, I've been blessed to be a part of Empire from their beginning. The guys, he always took care of me. So I'm just blessed to just have fun with it now, you know. Whether do good or not, I love just being in the studio, just recording, man. And yeah, I don't see me stopping no time soon. I don't even like throwing around a retirement word, but I don't even think that's going to ever happen.
Tired to do what? Stop doing what you love?
Exactly. It don't make no sense. As I said, this is kind of one of the first generations that we're going to be able to move how the OJs and the older groups move.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ice Cube and all them, they showing that you can knock at them 60s and move into the 70s, you know, Too Short, all of them, they all about 60. You know, if they ain't 60, they right there. And they showing that this stuff gonna be going on, man, into our 70s and 80s. So long as we got generations growing up with us, I don't see this stopping no time soon. I know I'm not.
Much love. On that note right there, we're gonna wrap this interview up, man. We got about a minute left. Man, much love. I appreciate the conversation. I
appreciate it.
Good to talk to a triple OG who understand the game from the bottom up, Doc. That's rare talk. That's a rare conversation for me, bro. Much love. Much love. Do your thing.
Much love, baby.
We out of here.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Dusty, another good
much love. Peace.
Before I go, I gotta give my shout out to my boy. I gotta give my boy.
That was another great one. Another great one. Knocked it out the park.
I got to give my boy Kerr a shout out for hooking this up. That's another one, man. Much love to you, Kerr. Keep on doing what you're doing. That's my booker. He books the show for me now. Kerr, much love to you, Doc. Dusty, we out of here, baby.
Man, much love. Hit him with that outro, Lonzo.
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre into surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold. On the eve after dark, 50-yard line at the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. And my history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Coming to Sacramento soon, folks. We out of here, y'all. Peace.